Put the kids to bed. The dads are back in town. Welcome back, dads. I am Mr. Magnificent, Mike Martin. With me, as always, my esteemed colleagues, Eric Big Rig Maffey and the Bluegrass Bomber, Brandon Couch. Welcome, dads.
Howdy, howdy.
How was everybody's Wednesday night?
It was pretty good. Pretty good. I was happy with how they handled everything from Sunday. So
yeah.
I have my own things that we'll get into, but overall, I'm happy with how it went.
So obviously, we're going to talk about Dynamite. The first thing I immediately noticed was even in just the intro video that all the characters supposedly involved in the aftermath, the backstage brawl, as we'll call it, were not in the video. So they're quick to pull those punches. So that was immediately noticed by me. And then obviously we rolled right into a message from Tony Khan.
Mm-hmm. I think that was smart. I think it was smart for them to take them off of there, kind of an out of sight, out of mind thing. And it shows that they were diligent, like, hey, if these guys are going to be suspended, even if it's only for a month or whatever, they're suspended. They're not getting any, show or fanfare or anything, even if it's in an intro video. So I liked how he did his announcement. I thought that was very well done. And I thought the opening segment went about as perfect as you could go, for what people were expecting and what needed to happen. So
yeah, is it just me, or is it every time Tony Khan's on camera, it just feels like he is just like a fish out of water? He just
yeah.
Yeah, I love the guy to death, but
you can tell he's not really comfortable with it.
It's not his, yeah. He's more of an office behind the scenes kind of guy.
Right.
But no, I agree. I mean, it was a smart decision to just cut him completely out of everything, and just they got to show a strong hand here. That way, this kind of stuff doesn't continue to happen. We don't lose the magic that that made it the thing we love right now. So,
right.
Bomber, how you feel about it, buddy?
I agreed with it. Like Maffey said, they took him out. They took him out of the intro videos. Even didn't matter. I felt like it didn't matter who was right or who started it. It didn't matter. All the parties that were involved needed to be taken away from the situation, taken away from the company, and all of the parties involved were given us a punishment, and I agree with it. You can't have a company as big as AEW with talent running rampant like that, because if you do and you don't do anything about it, WCW.
Yeah.
Right.
And we kind of talked about this, and when we talked about it on Tuesday, like, I said it too. I mean, that was embarrassing, and Tony is the owner of the company, and he's just sitting there, just letting Punk go, just nodding along. Like, you have to put your foot. And apparently they had a talent meeting before Dynamite last night, and Moxley, Jericho, and Danielson were said to be the ones leading it, and I think that was absolutely the right move. And I honestly think Tony would do well to, when one of those guys ends up retiring. I would say Jericho is probably the most likely to stop in-ring wrestling, but or not even Jericho. Like right now, Dustin Rhodes, is he really wrestling all that much? No. Make him your, wrestler that keeps everybody in line. You can't let Punk and, even Kenny and the Butt, you cannot let them be above. You are on-screen talent. You can't be above everybody else.
Right. Yeah, you started the company with a bunch of young guys. You did have some guys that had seen success overseas and, were big independent names. But now, that Tony's brought in some of these, more known guys that have been to the big show, that, I'm sure there's a lot of egotistical stuff going on behind the scenes. I can only imagine. And, there's got to be some sheriff of some sort, keep that stuff under wraps, like you said, just to, keep it from getting carried away. And WCW.
Yeah, I mean, Couch said it perfectly. I mean, and I think that's everybody's fear. They're looking for AEW's, what was it, Bash at the Beach? That was like the real, all that garbage. They're all looking for that. You know what I mean? I don't think that's going to happen. I think they got a little bit better handle on things. But it's the internet, and the internet loves drama. But I know Mr. Magnificent over there wants to talk about his boy. He's sporting his. Actually,
before we'll get ahead of that, because I would say as a result of Tony Khan's message and him therefore vacating the trios and world heavyweight title, they announced we have a match there on Dynamite live on Wednesday for the new trios champion, consisting of Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends versus Death Triangle. First of all, how do you guys feel about the two teams entered in, and how do you feel about the results?
I thought it made a lot of sense. Honestly, you already had it booked. Both of them were in the tournament. At first, I was like, well, why isn't Dark Order in it? Since they were in the final. But they explained it. They explained it, which I appreciate. That's all you need to do. Give me 5 seconds of explanation. That's all I care about. You know what I mean?
And that freed up Hangman for the attorney.
Mm-hmm. And AEW's been really good about that, kind of explaining stuff like that. I know some people probably don't think about it, but that's, it just helps it.
But dads catch it.
Yeah, dads catch it. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. I kind of wish, I don't get me wrong. I love Pac, Lucha Bros, Death Triangle, love them to death. I kind of wish Best Friends would have won. I feel like they have never really got their day in the sun, and this was the perfect opportunity to do it. You got Danhausen. I heard somebody talking about this yesterday. Imagine Orange Cassidy with a championship. Like, how would he even carry it? Like, I mean, was he going to put it in a backpack?
He's going to come up with something, undoubtedly.
He's going to come up. It's going to be
the most Orange Cassidy way to carry a championship.
Right.
When he does.
It's going to be, and freaking Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor are two of the most underrated.
Absolutely, man.
Guys out there. You know what I mean?
The Kentucky Gentlemen. So
Kentucky Gentlemen, baby. Represent. So, yeah, it's one of those things. That's just me being nitpicky more than anything. I think putting it on Death Triangle was a good way to go, because
that sets up great matches down the road with all kinds of, other.
They can have good matches. Not saying Best Friends
those guys are exciting to watch. And since Lucha Bros are not in the tag team picture right now, I'm happy with it. And I would like to see, out of this come, the Orange Cassidy Pac feud furthered on that, because Pac saying he's a joke. And, I look forward to Orange Cassidy proving him otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Bomber.
I mean, like, not only that, too, because now we have, I think we were talking about this. Is it confirmed now that Malachi Black has left, agreed to terms to leave? So if that's,
I have not heard concrete confirmation yet. Hang on a second.
I mean, the news is out there that he's gone. So if he is, you can't really have trio with House of Black.
Well, if I had a Magic 8 Ball and I shook it, I would think it would say all signs point to yes.
Yeah.
Based off of just his exit from All Out. And I read that dark episodes were filmed, and it was just Buddy and Brody and Julia.
Okay.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
I hope
I think they'll be okay with that. I mean, I feel like they were already giving Brody the kind of push anyway, and I mean, it's he could easily slide into the leader of that role. Maybe they throw somebody in the mix. Maybe Darby does that eventual turn on Sting and joins the House of Black.
Right.
Now that Malachi's, or now that they can make that he beat the pants off of Darby for how long, and then he finally just whatever, respects him or whatever, however they twist that story, but
or vice versa. Kind of interesting. Sting turns heel on Darby, and I personally think I would love to see that, because that would just be holy crap. It would
no way, man.
It would be so sweet.
Sting heel doesn't work. Sting can only be a face.
I would love it.
I think ultimately that match kicking off after, well, I guess we got to talk about the opening segment, but that being the first match, I think was exactly what needed to go on. You get the crowd. I mean, the crowd was already hot for the opening segment, but you get them hot. You give them something to cheer for. You have a definitive, hey, something big's about to happen.
Yep.
We don't need all that crap that happened on Sunday. Let's go.
Yep. So obviously they announced the tournament for the heavyweight championship, and we'll get into that in a little bit when we start talking about that first match. But that rolls us into my boy, the salt of the earth, MJF. Of course, they're going to roll him out there to start off the show after Tony addresses what he needed to do with drugs.
And of course, he couldn't get his arm out of his shirt again.
I love that. That was so awesome.
This is some badass couplings.
Man.
I loved that he came out to the freaking pseudo babyface reaction. Played it up, had the Josh Allen jersey.
I was even texting you all. I was like, this is weird. This is so weird.
And what did I text you 3 seconds after that? Wait for it.
Yeah. I was like, oh, he can't be
nobody wants that.
I love that Mox comes out and you're so full of crap. Like, that was so good.
It's so good to have him back, man. It just his level of heel and shtick is just, right now unmatched. And I love a good heel. I think we all do. And the guy does a hell of a job of it. So,
and from what I was hearing, sorry, Cap. From what I was hearing, he, he's still doing the bidding war 2024 shtick and all that. From what I'm hearing, everybody would pretty much be shocked if he got paid. I mean, he got paid more money, obviously, but they would be shocked if he didn't sign an extension. So, he can play the storyline, but he's probably there till 26, I'd say.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, Tony's not just going to give up more money without anything in return, But it's a good storyline to play up, though. I mean, I already seen where he was, taking selfies with WWE, personnel or whatever.
He's also more money you could ever spend in 5 lifetimes either. So, I mean.
Right.
Yeah. But, I kind of felt like, once he dropped the babyface shtick and kind of wrote out MJF, expect pretty much what I expected him to say. I'm going to come and take the title, which, is it going to be a Money in the Bank thing where, you win that ladder match and it's almost a guarantee?
See, that's the thing. I don't know what the actual stipulation of the chip is. Does it have to be a booked match, or can he run in after?
He said anytime. He did.
I know that's what I'm saying. I don't know for sure.
I'm saying he comes in at the end of the tournament.
I don't know.
Let us know.
So here's my thing: is Full Gear's in Newark, which is pretty freaking close to Long Island, and from what I read, Winter is Coming is in Long Island this year.
Oh.
So if they
it's always a big deal.
I mean, you know that dude can hold that over everybody's heads for the next 5 months.
Yes.
Hey, I can get this whenever I want.
That crowd in Long Island.
Something in somebody never imagined that.
Yeah.
And something. Okay, here's my one thing with the tournament that I feel like they could have done and had a really cool moment. And Couch, you're gonna keep your mouth shut while I say this.
Oh God. Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
Let's get it on.
You have a vacated title. Grand Slam is in what, 3 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Put Kingston in the tournament. Let him win the title. No, listen to me, Couch. Listen to me. Let him win the title in New York.
Hear the man out.
Let him win the title in New York. He'd get, biggest cathartic moment, pop, whatever you want to call it. MJF cashes in and he has the shortest reign ever, and MJF gets all that heat.
But he's already got heat. He doesn't need any more.
But just imagine how pissed off everybody would be.
Tony Khan to get this guy a job.
But also at the same time, though, do you think that's really fair to do to Kingston? Like, even though I don't.
Kingston doesn't need a title. That moment of him winning, that's all he needs. He could have the title for a week and lose it on the next Dynamite. Like, he really could. I'm telling you, man, it would have been awesome. Now, granted, like me and you were talking about the other night, I would really like to see Darby win it. I feel like he deserves it.
Yes, he does.
I think it's either going to be Danielson or Mox, because I could see that being a big story. The Blackpool Combat Club divided at Grand Slam type thing.
I mean, you saw Yuta push Danielson away from him after the match. So, I mean, it was kind of like, whoa.
I feel like whoever wins out of Sammy or Darby, ultimately is just set up to lose to Mox.
I feel like they cannot have Sammy beat Darby. I feel like that's totally the wrong direction. I mean, weirder things have happened, but I know Sammy's a heel and it would get all the heat, but nah.
And then who?
So anyway, speaking of Mox, so Mox comes out to, I guess, call MJF out on his bullshit, and then we get an absolutely just passionate promo from Mr. Jonathan Moxley.
So good.
Yeah, chills, absolute chills. I mean, you could tell he was in his feels.
That you say what you thought about it first, Mike.
It was good to hear him say, not to keep harping on this heart, on the heart and soul. But I mean, that title is supposed to mean something, and it's not. This company was based off of, people hard work and trying to prove themselves instead of just being a name and getting the title because they're a big name already. Right. It was built on a bunch of workers and independent guys, and that's what we love about it. It is guys that are, to me, it's like the difference between college football and NFL football. It's guys trying to make a name for themselves, and, putting their whole heart and soul into a product, bodies be damned, and just, laying it out there to, to make a name for themselves. And it's, I really felt that, it was a call out, to the whole locker room and, honestly, the fans. It says, we're going to right the ship.
Right.
He confirmed Chris Jericho's the GOAT.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming. You're an idiot.
He's gonna have that on loop, and eventually he's just gonna put every few seconds. That's just video's gonna pop up.
You already know he's gonna make it an overlay and just play it every 5 seconds when we're on screen here.
Cooper Cup.
Yeah, I know. Seth has him in our fantasy league. Screw you, Seth. Shout out. So I just think that this, I mean, he did so many things in this promo. The biggest thing I felt was everything he said just made me feel like we're going to be all right. None of that shit on Sunday matters. Everything's going to be all right.
Yep.
He showed that he is just an AEW guy, you know, through and through. He cares about this company. He was supposed to go on vacation, so he canceled that so he could do this.
Show up.
Yeah, I know, Seth. He made the tournament feel important by putting over all those guys. You know, he put over Jericho, he put over Danielson, he put over Sammy, everybody.
Yeah. Yep.
He made immediately, like we just talked about this tournament 30 seconds ago. Now I'm going to make it feel important.
Well, I like that they made it, you know, it's a tournament of champions. So it's everybody's been a champion. So it's like, okay, well, you can't question these names or that name.
Right.
You know, so you know, that's a smart move to make.
And like Danielson, he hasn't been a champion in AEW yet, but the best part, and I've heard this, I'm going to steal this from somebody, Sean Ross at Fightful.com. One of the best parts about AEW is that AEW history is pro wrestling history. It doesn't matter what company, where you came from. So Bryan Danielson is a 7-time world champion. That includes WWE. That includes Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I like that they included those too.
That's awesome. I love it. So, yeah, I just thought the whole thing was great, and obviously the match following was amazing. Triple Canadian Destroyer. I will pop for that every day of the week.
Yes, yes. So, okay, yeah. So we had the trios match, and you know it's everything you expect.
Everything you want it to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like we said, Mox has been pretty much carrying the company on his back for a while now. And when he came out there and did that, for me, when he was talking about the belt, it's just metal, and you guys know I'm a belt guy, and he kind of it felt like he was speaking to me. Yeah, you guys like belts and this and that, but to me, and then when he's talking about what the championship really meant, I mean, it was kind of like, he's right. I mean, he's absolutely right. This is a company built on the love of professional wrestling, not here to make this or do this or make that. It's just the start and love of professional wrestling. And that's what that belt stands for. I couldn't agree more. I loved it. And it's like we've already said, he's literally putting the company on his back again, saying, look, this happened, but we're all going to be fine. We got this going on. I'm here. And like he said, it's time for legends to be made, or the legend comment. I can't remember what he said.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. And that was perfect. You want to be a legend in this business and remembered for something great, do that.
And right now, how Mox is rolling, dude,
Again, God bless Jon Moxley.
Yeah, absolutely.
He doesn't have to show up to indie shows on the weekends, you know, for, you know, people who are, you know, like us, you know, diehard fans to go see these little one-off shows. You know, he doesn't have to do stuff like that. I'm sure Tony pays him handsomely enough to where he doesn't have to do that kind of stuff. But he's out there, you know, putting it in just as hard. And, you know, I think that just shows that he's really just trying to build the business, not only you know, the brand that he's mainly on, but you know, all these other brands too. You know, what Wrestling Revolver, for instance, him and Sammy Callahan, you know, got a good thing going there. Let me ask you guys this. So the winner of this tournament, whoever it is this the feud for MJF, or is this a transitional champion to set up that feud for MJF?
Transitional.
I don't know. I think ultimately it's going to be the feud for MJF. You say why you think that, Couch. I'll come in after.
Well, I mean, just from my point of view, I mean, if you could, like, let's say in theory, Danielson and Mox are in the final, and either one of them wins. Then you push in the Blackpool Combat Club now is effectively possibly looking at splintering and breaking apart. That would be good. I mean, I
feel like they've already kind of given that whole thing
to me, anyway. Like Judah pushing Danielson away after he lost his title, even though I know he's mad, but it looks like it's going that way. Just from that, and then now if plus that'd be a banger. You guys know Mox and Danielson again.
It was every other time.
That was nuts. I mean,
we bleed together.
I just think it's going to lead into that, and then the fallout from the Blackpool Combat Club in the finals. Whoever wins that, it's going to start there, and then the devil's going to wait his turn on that, and then right when you think the damage has been done to the Combat Club and the winner's announced, the devil's going to just come out of nowhere and take it, and then it's going to transition to him.
Right.
Eric, when's the last time that MJF and Jericho? When was that? The Trials of Jericho or whatever.
That was last summer.
The 2020 or 2020?
No, that last summer.
Okay. So is it too soon to try to run something back with those two?
No, I don't know. I think it's kind of played out because they had such a huge.
It was long feud.
The booking of didn't really make any sense to me because MJF beat him 3 times and then Jericho beat him at All Out. Like it wasn't. I would rather MJF just went 4-0 and he, I don't know. Anyway, so there's a couple things that could happen. I think the most likely is Moxley versus MJF, just because they had the promo to start off the show.
Was that foreshadowing?
I think that was a little bit of foreshadowing. I think it would be an awesome match. I think they could have a great feud together. Moxley calling him on his crap, him being the cowardly heel.
Playing Super Bowl coverage. Bullshit.
And,
it's no Montana to John Taylor, but that still hurts.
Yeah. Anyway, back to a sport I can predict. I think, you look at it right now. Who do you think across all promotions, if you had to unanimously say who is the most over wrestler right now, I would say it's Jon Moxley. Because if he went to WWE tomorrow, he'd be the most over babyface there on planet Earth.
Yeah, it's either him or Rhodes. Him or Cody Rhodes.
But Cody's been gone, whatever. But imagine Mox showing back up.
Oh,
with the way Rollins and Reigns are right now, and how Moxley is, that Shield, it would just be huge. So arguably, I'm not saying for sure, but arguably he is the most over.
Oh, right, I agree. I 100% agree he is. I was just saying Cody's right. I mean, it's not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So if they do that, it would be, MJF cheating to beat the most over guy in the company, I would say would be the way to go.
Yes.
But
I would love it. I mean, I like heel champions. I don't think AEW's had it.
I like heel champions when they do it right, not when they have a reign for 2 years for no apparent reason other than they can't build anybody to beat him.
I mean, Kenny's reign was a little heelish.
Kenny's reign was I felt like was more of a comedy heel.
Yeah.
Which I like. I mean, I thought it was a good.
Just arrogant asshole.
Yeah, it was a good way to do it. And it allowed for him to come back as a babyface really easily. It was a really easy transition, because he wasn't a dastardly heel. He was a comedy heel, and it's like, okay, whatever. He's done with that now. So I could see that, but also I think the other, like we said, if Darby wins, that was arguably match of the night at Full Gear last year. Was MJF and Darby.
Yeah.
And if you go pillar wins to pillar, I think that's a way to, solidify that, hey, we still recognize our originals,
It would
maybe they made a mistake putting it on Punk. Hey, let's go with the originals and have back-to-back pillars win the title.
I wonder how many people backstage felt kind of slighted by that,
I'm sure. I mean,
and just
you can't blame them.
For the ones that, I don't blame them either. I mean, it's kind of.
But I mean, I don't blame
TNA when they did all that shit.
Yeah,
they had a good roster of young guys that were kind of like this along the same lines, something different. Right. Guys making a name for themselves, not as well known. And then they start bringing in all the big names again, and then it just gets convoluted, and it turns into the Hogan and Bischoff show, and nobody wants that shit anymore.
Yeah, and I think it's not everybody, I wouldn't say bringing Swerve and Lee in and having them win the titles was much of a slight. I think it was like Punk, who, how much does he really have left in the tank? I feel like he's more of a novelty than he is world champion material. I would have given it at least a year and a half so he can prove hey, I can go. Okay, let's put the title on him.
Yeah. Now you've had the last two matches. You got injured both times. Now you're going to be on the show.
They said he's going to be out. He's going to be out past the end of the year.
What else do you need to know? Yeah, what else?
Past the end of the year for his surgery.
So. We kind of touched on it last night on the Nerdcast a little bit about how people kind of thought that Punk was just this big draw, and no doubt he is a draw, but I said I feel like AEW already had enough star power to get them through that phase. I mean, yes, it definitely helped when Punk came back, but AEW already had enough star power. They didn't need Punk necessarily.
Well, that's
back.
Brought him in more of a part-time basis, more of a feature here and there. I don't know, we'll call it a Brock Lesnar role, but kind of something along those lines. Just because he doesn't need to be at his age and his condition. He doesn't need to be out there doing it week in and week out with these young guys. He's just going to get hurt every time.
And then,
been shown.
Plenty of people have said it too. AEW was fine before he came in.
That's what I'm saying.
They were so hot. They were so hot last summer. I mean, I remember I could not wait to tune in every week with the MJF Jericho storyline, the Hangman and Elite storyline going on. I mean, they had really good stuff going on, and Punk was the cherry on top of the icing on the cake.
Fortunately for us, we bought tickets in Cincinnati right after that show.
Right, that was awesome.
Before they ever premiered, and I think I only got my ticket for $30 because after they premiered, they skyrocketed.
I mean, it was great, and you know what? I was glad that I was able to go to that show. I was able to see Punk live. I never got to see him when he was in WWE, so that was cool.
Yeah, I loved it.
Hold on.
Got a question for the Bomber.
Got a question for the Bomber.
Uh-oh. Okay, Facebook.
Go ahead, caller.
Probably Lisa.
Did you get the laundry?
You gonna change this kid's diaper or what?
The girls
Can
asleep.
you take out the garbage?
Are the girls sleeping?
User, we don't know who you are, so feel free to leave a comment.
Ask away.
Or do we not say caller anymore? We say user. Go ahead there, user.
Go ahead, user. User, come through.
Okay, hold on. Here we go.
I'm not even going to dignify a response on that user.
I love it.
This is
Dumbledore,
wrestling.
hands down. Dumbledore, hands down.
We're not. You cheer for a guy who gets upset because that literally no.
Dumbledore is grabbing that briefcase every time. 10 times out of 10.
No. Anyway.
What if Dumbledore?
False. MJF.
That is definitely Tony or someone. Whatever.
Love it.
We're not just dads, we're nerds too.
That's right. Yeah, well, here you go, Tony. Shout out the Nerdcast on Facebook and YouTube. Check them out.
Wednesdays.
Talk all things nerd.
Wednesdays.
Check out their Facebook page. Nerdcast.
Wednesdays and Saturdays.
So yeah, ultimately, I think they have a lot of options, and I think all of them would be pretty good.
There's probably a dozen guys I'd rather see have the belt that ring performance wise than CM Punk. I mean, hearing Punk's promos and seeing him GTS somebody here and there, but other than that, man, it's just I don't know. I don't think he's on the level with a lot of those guys in there.
No.
So let's get Wardlow ready to at least be in that picture. Guys like that.
Sunset.
Which that's another thing we can talk about that I was happy about that they gave him that tonight to kind of, hey, I'm still here. Everybody on Twitter and whatever is writing me off. So I'm going to squash Tony Nese and powerbomb him 4 times or whatever it was. So I would like for him to have a legitimate feud with somebody. You could kind of go the route they went with Miro with the TNT title, where whoever he faced, he just ran through him. That was simple and awesome. I'm not saying you got to do the exact same thing, but you know what I'm saying.
I'd like to see him have a sustained match, and let's see if he's got what else he's got in his arsenal. Right,
and we've seen shades of that with did a moonsault off the top rope.
Yes,
guy's damn near 300 pounds. So yeah,
I thought Josh Woods was going to jump in there and get a piece.
And that very well may be his next feud, which I think would be awesome because
and that may be that sustained match I'm asking for.
Yeah, we haven't really seen him in a technical match before. How would he handle that?
It is.
Who's going to technical him?
Magnificent.
Who's going to technical that monster?
It's Burberry, you pleb.
Burberry.
MJF would have
not fake at all. I definitely didn't buy it in the middle of the
MJF would be irate right now. He's got to be from New York.
This better be licensed. Hey.
So okay, what do we have after? Do we have the women's match after?
Yes.
Trios? Is that directly after?
Tony Storm. And was it? I can't even remember.
Penelope Ford?
Penelope Ford. Yeah, I was going to say Anna Jay. It was one of them blonde ladies.
So I'm glad that they're doing this with the women instead of putting them on in the 9:30 guest slot every week.
Yes.
Put them on at the right before or right at the top of the hour. Let them go out and showcase. You have the talent to do it now. Let them go out there and do it. And I think Tony Storm's going to be a great champion. I think when Rosa comes back, that's going to be an awesome feud, breakup of a tag team type thing. I could see Rosa possibly turning heel during that feud.
Speaking of Rosa, I did see Meltzer confirm that reported her asking for her release was BS. So
yeah, good. Okay.
Eric, I was honestly thought you might have Emmy get a hold of her or something and ask her directly.
But... I mean, she, you know, we do have contact sometimes. She's Thunder Rosa, friend of the show.
Definitely friend of the show.
But I think
Mera.
It's my girl. I would like to see more than one. I mean, WWE does it all the time. You can have more than one women's match on the show. You have the talent for it. Just give them a freaking storyline.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, they say, oh, they're not a draw. Well, that's because you just send 2 random women out there to have a match and nobody gives a crap. Like, give them
women. I am thrilled that they're following through with this Jamie Hayter and DMD.
Yeah. That's what I was just about
cracking
to say.
That alliance. That'll be interesting. That'll be an interesting feud to watch.
That'll be a good story.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that'll be
yes.
You know, a story that it's long-term story, you know. I love Pac selling. That's one of the things I love about a lot of the guys in AEW is their sell jobs are so good. Like who's another one that's really good? Like Dante Martin, he's amazing at it because he can just fling his body all. You know, Darby's amazing at it. Yeah, exactly. Like give them a storyline that makes sense. It doesn't have to be anything super dramatic. Just like with Hayter and DMD. DMD cost Hayter the world title. So now, don't even start, you weirdo.
It's over for your girl.
Hayter is about to run through her like a freaking freight train, dude. And Hayter is about to be a huge baby face, and it's going to be awesome.
Yes,
I cannot wait.
Oh.
And, like, you think about it.
I'm getting a Hayter who's going to hate t-shirt.
I'm not saying we need a million promos
every day
on the show, but I mean, Jade Cargill and Athena had a really good match at All Out.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
Toni Storm just won the women's title. You can't give her 15 seconds to say something. Punk wins the title and he gets freaking 15 minutes to go out there and talk about all this. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they got to be exactly the same because I know there's a draw for one more than the other. Let's
flesh out that division a little bit with more than just. I mean, the matches and the performances are great. You know, let's flesh it out a little bit. Let's give them a little more storylines. I mean, like you said, we have that long-term build with Athena and Jade, which I guess is they put a nail in that one after All Out, but.
I don't know. I think they could call it back because Athena technically had her beat if she didn't get pulled out of the ring. So I think that's grounds for a rematch.
It's true. Wasn't technically 100% clean.
So I mean, I think what they're doing with Jade is awesome. She's a freaking superstar. You know, I mean, you can't deny it. She looks like a star. She acts like a star.
Awesome too.
I think eventually they'll do a title unification of some kind. I don't know when that'll be, but the one to dethrone Jade is going to go is somebody they want to put way over. For sure.
Could be Hayter.
Could be. It very well could be. I
don't know that she's ready enough for the AEW one, but I mean
Statlander's over too now.
Yeah. I saw she just posted. It looks like she just had surgery. She was on a hospital bed with a big brace on her knee.
Yeah, she had to get knee surgery again, which is
really unfortunate because she was gaining momentum.
But yeah, I definitely agree with that. Good storyline. The storylines with the women that I can't stand is, all the baby faces have to be friends and all the heels are just bitches. Like,
yeah,
let them be human beings and have a storyline. Like, it's not hard.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping with them bringing Madison Rayne in, and now that Kenny's back, that Tony releases the reins and kind of lets the women, have their day in the sun, because guess what? Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks and Bayley and all those, they're over.
Getting all them girls back, yeah.
They're over, and they have great matches, and people love them. Mm-hmm. And, if you want to appeal to your younger audience, I got a 6-year-old at home that could care less about Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson. She wants to watch Thunder Rosa versus whoever. I know, I do too. I'm saying, as a 6-year-old little girl, she wants to see. I mean, that's how she got interested in the first place. She woke up in the middle of the night. I was watching the Women's Royal Rumble, and she came out and she was like, "Oh, what's this?"
Bunch of girls wrestling.
Like that. That
girls
was
wrestle
awesome
too. Yeah,
to her.
girls wrestle too. Girls can be awesome wrestlers.
Like, we went to a Warrior show.
Ding dong.
The freaking main event was Will Ospreay and Blake Christian. Like, a match that I was so excited for. And Emmy's like, "I'm tired. Can we go home?" Like, she could have cared less. You know what I mean? Like,
"Go in the car, kid."
Yeah, and I'm like, no, we're gonna stay for this one. But luckily, Thunder Rosa was out there, so she got to go talk to her while I watched the match. So they're basically besties.
That's awesome.
I did like the Bayley shish to everybody. Shish.
Yeah, Bayley. I don't know. Some of her. The ding dong hello stuff was kind of annoying to me. I think she's better as just a shitbag heel. Just.
Yeah, I think that whole shtick was her finding her footings as a heel. She was such a super
not that she's not funny. I think she can be hilarious, but she was basically being a female Seth Rollins with the laugh and everything like that. But I would like them to. This isn't New Japan Pro Wrestling. You have a women's division. Please utilize it. That's all I'm saying.
They said that's when Kenny, wanted to start this company. It's tag team wrestling, women's division, and long-term storytelling. You know what I mean? And they've obviously done the thing with the tag team, because God, they have some of the best tag teams in the business.
Yeah.
And they're all these cross promotions and stuff like that. If they're not
already signed to AEW, we're running it back at Grand Slam, baby.
Yes.
Used to be
He's the bluegrass hugger.
I still am a hugger.
I've gotten many hugs.
That's his sassy side.
Couch gave me a hug after I consoled him after Eddie Kingston tapped out Chris Jericho at Revolution. I gave him a big hug to console him. He was very upset. Very upset. So I made sure I gave him a big hug.
At least my dude, the baby, fat.
The Hubble telescope, baby.
It is what it is.
We need that to pop.
Trust me, I'm gonna put that on here. That'll be. So what we have after? Or do you guys have any comments on any more on the women's? I know I kind of
any more in the women's division, other than just give us more. I mean, these girls are great. What else do we have?
The Acclaimed and the hype up for the rematch of the Acclaimed and Swerve in Our Glory.
Yes.
I have to say,
they had no choice.
Wow, it was the best match on All Out.
That was so good. and dude, that pop that they're gonna get in New York is just, it's gonna be so good. And Swerve as a heel, it's gonna be awesome.
And I like that they didn't give everybody what they wanted, because everybody was sitting by waiting to hear what Max Caster was going to rap about. I know I was.
He even posted it. He posted it on Instagram, like, "Look what I got tonight." That was amazing.
And
then
Swerve
just
and
comes
a
out all
heel
smiling. Move. Yeah.
You don't get that.
Yes. And that's going to be a great feud. Give me Keith Lee versus Swerve in a breakup angle, by all means. Yeah. That'll be awesome.
And that's good. That's that long-term storytelling.
Acclaim definitely are taking that one. If they don't take that one in New York, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And they could be, they could use that split up angle to put the belts on them, and that works.
Exactly.
And then you have a feud that you've more or less been teasing for months now. So,
and I think it'll be Swerve is obsessed with hating how much the Acclaimed are loved, and he'll end up costing them the titles somehow.
Well, it's like Keith Lee keeps giving the Acclaimed props,
Yeah, and he
scissored,
Yep.
and Swerve didn't have no part of that.
Yeah.
So, again, there's that slight distinction there.
Yep. So yeah, that's awesome. And then I think we had Wardlow after that.
So Wardlow
Squashing Nice, which was give me all the Powerbomb symphonies, please and thank you.
Yeah. Like I said, I just, with him, it's just give me a longer match to where it's not just the power bomb. I don't want another Goldberg spear night situation. I know the guy's got more tools than that, so let's see.
Yeah, and I think the squashes will be in moments where they're needed, and then they're going to let him shine in matches, longer matches, because he can go. I mean, we've seen it.
Shout out to the Will Heights, man and wife.
Just fucking commenting up a storm. Gotta love it. And calling out Seth Ballard for being a piece of garbage. This was a Seth Ballard comment, by the way, Couch, so you can...
Hey.
Friday night!
So, what we have after... I'm trying to think of all the matches we had. It was just yesterday. Yes, he did have a great match against Lance Archer, which I would love to see Lance Archer back too. That dude can go and can make any match just awesome, I think.
Pure title.
Was that the next one?
We had the pure title, and we had the Bryan Danielson.
Oh, Danielson and Hangman. Duh. Jeez. That was, awesome, of course. I loved.
Not quite as good. I didn't think quite as good as their was the first two matches.
No, I mean you aren't gonna top those. Those were freaking both pay-per-view matches.
Yeah,
but
this one's quicker thrown together.
Oh, that pin, that bridging pin was so good. I loved it. And I mean Danielson definitely needed the win, for sure. Hangman, I feel like is
wouldn't mind seeing it.
Pretty protected. Yeah, I mean I think it's going to be Danielson Mox or Darby.
I was not knowing what really went on with everything. I was wondering if they'd have Hangman go over as kind of a thumb in the eye to the Punk after all what was said. But I'm happy to see Bryan, get it, because as long as the Dragon can stay healthy, man, dude's really freaking fun to watch.
And I think, excuse me, Hangman is going to be, they're kind of saving them in Dark Order for, I don't know how long Elite's going to be suspended, but, even if it's not them, they could be there for a feud when Cole comes back, run that back from Revolution. I mean, Hangman's good against anybody, so they could, go after the trios titles. Who knows? Because I would love to see Silver and Reynolds go up against the Lucha Brothers. Like, give me that 10 days out of 10. But yeah, that just for a hastily thrown together, hey, we got to get this done. It was awesome.
It was what you would want it to be between those two, and those two can just slap the shit out of each other.
Oh my God, yeah. Main event.
That pure title, that was great. The first one was fantastic. This one was much the same. I kind of figured it was going to go this way, and I love the storyline. I don't know what their obsession is with bringing rappers out on Dynamite, but whatever. And I had a lot of jewelry, lots of jewelry.
I I really liked in this one how Yuta went for the seatbelt pin again, which he used to beat him last time. And
William Regal says nobody kicks out of the seatbelt pin.
That's right.
But somebody did this time.
And he had it scouted. He had it planned for. And that finish of him just cranking back on his leg. And Yuta almost had him.
He pulled it back too.
Kept on cranking. And Yuta kind of losing his shit throughout the match with the closed fist and stuff like that.
Great foreshadowing.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Great storytelling in the ring.
You know, they're in Buffalo. It's not saying the ROH Pure title doesn't matter, but Yuta losing it doesn't hurt him at all.
No.
Garcia's been on a huge push. He beat Danielson. You know, he's 1-1 against Danielson, but you know what I mean.
I feel like they did the same thing for, Garcia that they did for Yuta when he needed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He needed that little bit of bump up there just to a little more recognition, a recognition for your rise in popularity.
He's back.
There he is. Yes, who's back? Bomber's back. Back again.
And I really loved the Danielson coming out at the end, which if that was at first I was gonna say I thought it was unplanned, like as a surprise for Garcia, but and I mean maybe it was, and Jericho just did that and it worked. I mean, I don't know, but that was looking like he was watching his best friend kiss his prom date, like that was Jericho's reaction to me. It. So yeah, I thought that was great. Danielson coming out there and kind of giving him that recognition, because I think Garcia is going to be a staple.
I couldn't. Garcia, man, he's one of those talents that's coming up, and you just
the guy can.
What's his name, Matthew? I can't ever remember the name. The high flyer,
Dante Martin.
That dude. I mean, he's a damn flying squirrel. Every time you see him, I mean, he's nuts. I mean, I think he deserves that title absolutely. I'm kind of curious to see what Jericho has to say about all this. Can't wait to see how it goes down Friday.
Which makes me think even more that Jericho is going to lose to Danielson because he's going to start up a feud with Daniel Garcia.
Jericho only loses if he wants to. That's right.
He can't cheat his way to win.
Yeah.
Well, he cheats his way to win all the time. What are you talking about?
Except when he faces Eddie Kingston and he taps out.
Oh, he didn't tap out. He was signaling at something.
Don't worry. I'm going to put the clip on here so I can play it for you whenever I need to.
Okay. Well, all right.
You'll hear JR's call of the century. Jericho, I had to tap.
My God.
He didn't have a choice.
So
broke it off.
The card for Friday is looking pretty stacked as well. Darby and
Claudio and Dax. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Dax
can go, man.
Man.
His singles matches are always fun to watch.
Good. And he loses nothing when he loses them because he's a tag team wrestler.
No, he's
looks a tag team wrestler that can go in a singles match.
Yep.
But I kind of want to see Dax win it, though.
I would too. I mean, I don't know what that would do, but like,
where the hell is he going to put the belt, though?
Around his neck. I don't give a shit.
It's like you're wanting him to win the team titles.
Give us a Ring of Honor TV show.
How many more you want him to have?
When's the return of Ric Flair?
He had his last match, didn't you hear?
Oh, yeah. God.
I'm sure he'll be back when he's 85 and
when he needs another paycheck, probably.
Yeah. Him and Sting will go at it one last time. Sting will jump off the balcony and put him through 2 tables and put him out of his misery.
Lay down, Addison.
But yeah, I'm so excited for that. Yeah, Darby and Sammy is going to be awesome. Say what you will about Sammy, but dude can go.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's going to do something absolutely stupid We can pretty much guarantee that. I don't know who's going to win, but somebody's going to almost die. I'm sure of it.
I mean, Darby tries pretty much every time. So
we also Friday night get a SmackDown, which could be interesting as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll get to see maybe the bloodline and the play out from that part.
Started the cross feud.
Yes. Hoping so. That'll be nice. That'll be some great promo action.
Then Saturday evening, 2/3 of the Dad World Order will be representing at NWF.
Northern Wrestling Federation. Burkus
Ludlow,
Brewing,
Kentucky.
Saturday night. Star Rider defends his championship. Friend of the show. And tag team champs Kobe Kane and Noah Gabriel defending the belts.
I'm sorry. Ric Flair goes over.
Ric Flair goes over. The Crimson Mask.
he ain't putting that shit heel over. But yeah, I think we got a good night. And then I believe Madison Rayne and Serena Deeb, which that's going to be awesome. I hope that is some kind of feud and not just a.
I heard something about Claudio made a comment about Serena Deeb being a contender to be the female addition to the BCC.
That'd be awesome. I would love that so much.
I mean, honestly, do you guys think that like Blackpool Combat, if Moxley and or Danielson split away from that, if you just had Yuta, Claudio, maybe a Serena Deeb and Regal, I mean, is it still a viable faction?
I feel like Regal's been like super hanging out with Moxley lately. Like he hasn't come out with Danielson. Like I know he did for. Did he come out for his match with Hangman?
No,
he came out for Yuta. So I think if anybody splits, it'd probably be Danielson because he's really good on his. Like it would be Danielson or Mox that would split. I don't think they both would. Because I think they're both
Mox in like some sort of tantrum.
I think it's gonna implode if we do have the scenario where Mox and Danielson have to face each other, and Mox wins again or something. Whoever is winner in the loser, it's going to implode, and I think that faction's just going to.
Oh, he did come out with Danielson last night. Okay.
He called him a man in the mask.
Man in the mask.
You delicious buttercup. I want to pick up your petals and put them in my mouth. Freaking Regal, man. He killed me.
The love story between those two is fantastic.
Man in the mask, you're looking scrumptious as always. He's awesome.
Yeah, so Burkus Brewing, if you guys haven't checked out an NWF show, you absolutely should. One, it's a very affordable ticket. Two, it's family friendly, so you can bring the kids. Plenty of people do. And three, it's an absolute great show. I bring my son with me, and he thoroughly enjoys it, so I highly encourage everybody to check out not only NWF, but all of your local indie wrestling because it's awesome. And
you ever get a chance to go to Warrior Wrestling Show, by all means go. I'm super sad because they're coming back, and their first show back is Lucha Brothers versus Briscoes, and I want to go so bad, but it's in Chicago.
Oh, God, yes.
Definitely buying that for sure.
I'm just not ready for that drive to Chicago for a show.
I know, but
not quite yet.
Man, Lucha Brothers and Briscoes.
We need to plan better. Hey, once we start making money off this and we can fly to shows and we can get a quick
right. Once we get press passes, that'll be where it's at.
We have the ace in our sleeves though, boys. You keep forgetting. October 18th.
Yes.
October 18th.
Ringside, baby. Let's go.
We'll be on TV.
dWo.
Worldwide. dWo. Worldwide.
We're not going to put on a B.
Remember us little people. We will always bring the little people with us.
We've already started planning the documentary. Whatever happened to the dWo.
This is the beginning. Also, one little thing that I just remembered because we were talking about Excalibur. When MJF came out and gave Taz like a big hug, and Taz was like, yeah.
Flipped everybody else off.
Yeah, like killed me. I loved it so much. Like, and Taz was like, he's back. Yeah, oh, this is the greatest day ever. I love Taz so much. He's such an underrated commentator. Please give me him every single week.
Yeah, their commentary is, what commentary used to be instead of the commentary team on WWE.
Well, hell, they just lost Pat, so yeah, they're hurting bad.
Mm-hmm. I could have put Wade in there, but I don't know. It definitely is not the same. Anywho, anybody got anything else?
No, I think that's it. Just see, we'll be back on what, Sunday night? Talk about
Friday night.
Talk about
Friday night.
Talk about Friday
Sunday
night.
night. Talk about Friday night.
That's right. And also give our recap of how good the NWF show was.
Oh yeah. We're gonna try to get special guests. Talk to some guys, see if we can't get somebody to.
Awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Do us a favor.
That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
I'm working on getting Chris out of his busy schedule. I know he's got a hectic schedule right now. If I can get Le Champion on here,
I'm sure.
I'm happy man.
I don't know if I would want that to happen. Just
would.
having like one tweet retweeted in my phone.
I would be like, here now, goat. Please
20 times. I was like,
I feel like he just scream at us the whole time. Have you ever heard him on commentary?
I love it.
You guys are idiots! Bunch of idiots! You just made the
Who
list!
thinks that stupid idiot?
dWo! What do you think it is?
I know. I'm trying to tell
Oh my
him.
god.
Bring on.
Yes.
Hammer drink.
He'd fall asleep halfway through the show.
Bring it on, Cal!
Whose ass am I kicking?
That is happening. That is absolutely happening.
Special 3 a.m. episode of the Dead World Order podcast. All right, fellas. Well, it's been a joy yet again.
Absolutely.
Do it all again on Sunday.
See y'all next time.
If you didn't know, now you know. We the dWo.
Go Colts.
See you next time. Subscribe, like, tell your friends. We're trying to get famous, y'all. Bye.